Is American Chavez completely irreplaceable? Find out my thoughts today as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So, the card of American Chavez has been brought up from time to time, and in a lot of decks it's known as the 12th card or the 11th card, because basically it turns every deck that you play her in into an 11 card deck. And the problem with American Chavez is you could basically make her a 6-6, and there'd still be people who would play her just because of how powerful that last turn advantage is. And the issue with that is that every time you think of a deck, one of the first cards that enters into your mind is American Chavez. Especially when decks start becoming more and more needing of American Chavez. If you're looking something like Darkhawk. Okay, Darkhawk basically needs American Chavez because it's looking for the Zabo. And with Darkhawk, American Chavez, and the Zabo, you've already taken out a quarter of your deck. 3 cards in your deck is a quarter of your deck. And even if you have a good deck where you're just like, hey, what can I pull out of this? You can always pull one card and just put in American Chavez, and she just brings up the power rate, the power percentage of that particular deck. And her big flaw about her is that you don't get that turn draw on 6. So if you ever get to turn 6 and you haven't drawn the other part of your combo, you know you're not going to get it because you got American Chavez in it. But people still play her, people still use her, and she is always going to be a hard card to balance around, to change around, because here's the thing, I don't know exactly how you would change her. Obviously the stat change doesn't really do a lot for her. But Marvel Snap has to be, and is supposed to be, a 12 card deck, not an 11 card deck. So, one of the few ways that you could possibly change American Chavez is, instead of her always drawing on the last turn, or turn 6 I should say, because technically it draws on the last turn. If she draws on turn 7, there's at least a chance. Sorry, turn 6. There's at least an ability that you could actually play Magic, that you get draw earlier and not get you that last turn infinite change there and that extra percentage. There's also kind of a way where you can even lower that down, where you don't pull her on 1, 2, or 3, which means that she could be 4, 5, or 6, or even 7. Kind of giving you that little bit of power in the beginning, but kind of taking away that power in the end, and that guaranteed hit in the end of always having a better card until turn 6. Which would still fit her as a character, Another way that you could possibly change her is to kind of give her Agatha's ability, where she actually started in your hand, which would kind of do the same thing, but would actually be even better or worse than American Chavez. Because then you're drawing like one fewer card in the whole game. The thing about her basically is just, I don't want to see this card destroyed. I kind of like the fact that it can protect your early games. But getting it in the very last draw makes it way too consistent. So maybe they could figure out some way that they could work around that. That's why I had the idea of like 1, 2, and 3 doesn't show up, so it's like 4, 5, or 6. It could show up 4, 5, 6, or 7 if you go to window. There's also a way where you could draw her maybe on like 2, 4, or 6. So it's like if you don't draw her on 2, you know you're good for 3, but then you have the possibility of drawing her on 4, but then if you don't, you know you're going to draw her on 6. That kind of way, it's like not guaranteed. Or maybe even do 3 and 6 if you want it to be a little bit, more out there. It's just that way if you got her on 3, you'd be like, yeah, I'm playing her, and there's a chance I can grab her on 3. But there's also a chance I can grab her. If I don't, then I know I'm good till 6. Just that not 100% guaranteed percentage win. That's the way I think that you could kind of shift and tweak American Chavez so that she could still be good without being broken, and without being always known as that 11th card, that 12th card. That card that makes your deck an 11 card deck. That card that you might pull out to play a different 6 for once in your life. And especially now with the change to Shang-Chi, American Chavez is now protected because she's no longer Shang-Chi-able. So there's a part of me that almost wants to move her to a 6-10 just to leave her back in that range. But there's also a part of me that wants to make her 6-6 so that, like, you're punished by saying, hey, if you draw this card is useless on turn 6. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.